Hello, welcome back to the channel, and we are doing some more vintage cube draft. And I started this one a little late. We're taking an Ocelot Pride here. There was some other considerations, but we are a day away from Final Fantasy launching on Arena and Magic Online, and I've been doing a lot of pre-releasing, and a set looks great so far. But they still have the elimination draft queues up for Vintage Cube, so yeah, I figured I would just go ahead and give this one more shot. You happen to be on there, and then there's 7 people. It's like, well, what? I'm not gonna not click to be the 8th person, right? Like, what are you even doing? So anyway, we started off with Ocelot Pride, and then we get to take Library of Alexandria, which I think is pretty great. Library pretty much just goes in any deck, and I think it's especially good in a deck with a lot of cheap plays because you can kind of say turn 1 you play a 1-drop, turn 2 you can draw a card with Library, play another 1-drop, like if you're on the draw. So I think that's pretty good. There's also Windswept Heath, Firebolt, those are good too, but yeah, Library's totally good. I mean, they pass us a monkey. I mean, look, I feel like I'm so Boros coded these past couple of years, but like, if Wizards is just going to keep on printing completely broken red and white cards into our lovely game, then I am going to continue to play those cards. So yeah, we have Ocelot Pride and Ragavan. They're basically just 1 mana card advantage engines. We've also got Grease Wrench Goblin's okay. Wings of Abandon I like. Pyrogoyf, though, is also just like a ridiculously insane magic card. Like, this card's absurd. It's just so broken. But yeah, I mean, obviously Ragavan is Ragavan. So now we are looking for definitely fixing, because if we have a colorless land and then we have a white card and a red card that are both 1-drops. So we don't see that yet. I mean, I personally love Kolaghan's Command. It's one of my favorite cards, but I mean, we're not going to be splashing a 3rd color when we don't even have fixing for our primary colors. I'm just going to take Voice of Victory. I think this card is totally solid. It's a 2-drop, and it makes it so that they can't cast spells during your turn. It comes with more bodies. I mean, the card is just really good. There's also Elspeth, but I mean, it's a good card, but you can definitely get other 4-mana plays. So I think with these Boros decks, it's really important to just shore up the cheap end of things, efficient removal, good threats, and then, you can wheel like a top end threat like Elspeth, or even Karn. You can play Karn. Voice of Victory is really good. Okay, so again, another 4-mana play with the Wandering Emperor. I'm going to take Chrome Mox, though, because in this kind of a deck, you just want to go fast. And so, say on turn 1, you go turn 1 Voice of Victory, or you go turn 1 Ocelot Pride plus Ragavan, and you're on the play. That's pretty ridiculous. We also have Jack Rabbit, which I do like quite a bit. I think this card is, I mean, it's solid. You can even play it for, say, like 3 or 4 mana, attack the next turn, get a bunch of bodies, or even just play it as a 2-drop and then 1/2 that attacks makes a 1/1. It's totally fine. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Chrome Mox here. Is a solid piece of ramp. All right, so now we get the choice between Flickerwisp and Securitan Squadron. I like Securitan Squadron a fair bit. It's also a little less pip intensive as far as the colors go. But, I mean, it's not something you really want to... I mean, you can play it on turn 2, and that's totally fine. And then, I mean... Oh, actually, this is pretty good with the Voice of Victory, because then the mobilized tokens come in with counters on it. So it's pretty close. I think I will lean towards the Flickerwisp. You do kind of get loaded up on 3-drops, but Flickerwisp has a lot of good interactions in the cube, that a lot of good enters the battlefield triggers that you can rebuy. Sometimes you can just sometimes it's like 3 mana 3/1 destroy an opponent's token or something. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'll also take a Scrapwork Mutt here. There isn't really too much else here in the pack that I'm interested in. I'm noticing that black is a little bit open. We got the Infernal Grasp, Sedgemoor Witch, which are both kind of sort of acceptable cards, but not enough reason to take them yet. I'm just going to go ahead and take Scrapwork Mutt. Okay, so now we see No More Lies, Sentinel of the Nameless City is pretty good. Retrofitter Foundry, Ephemerate as the considerations here. I mean, we have Flicker Wisp already. I guess we'll take Ephemerate. Usually this card's a little niche, but if we find enough stuff that enters the battlefield triggers, then we can go ahead and play it. Okay, not the right land we were looking for. Satya is pretty strong. Just it's a little color intensive with Jeskai colors, but it's just really powerful. Can make a lot of energy, make a lot of bodies. 3/5 Menace Haste is fine as well. I'm tempted by that. I may just want to take the Lush Portico. Just maybe we end up in a green-white space or like a Naya space. I think I'll take that. Okay, so there's more black cards, but I don't really think Sorin's much to consider. Baleful Mastery is a totally solid removal spell. Vindicate's also kind of a solid removal spell. I think I'm just going to hedge my bets on red and take Firebolt. This card's very efficient, very powerful. Okay, it's not very powerful, but it's efficient, cheap removal to blow up. I mean, look at these threats it can kill. It can kill Ragavan. All right, I'll take a Grease Wrench Goblin at this point. Not super exciting. Oh look, see, like I said, I wield Elspeth and Karn. I think given where we're at, Elspeth will probably be a little bit better. Well, that's a red-white card, but not one we're interested in. This is more for, of course, the like 4-color Omnath pile deck. Yeah, not really for what we're doing, but it can hang out. Whitestone and Weakstone it's like fine in an Artifact Ramp Shell, but maybe not for what we're doing. River Pyre Verge on the wheel, sure. So we definitely just need some fixing or broken mana acceleration. So yeah, we will definitely go ahead and just take Mox Ruby here. Definitely good to get an on-color Mox. Other than that, we have Palantir, Empress Shieldbreaker, Lorena the Third Path are good cards. Gaia's Cradle, also very good. Maybe not for this deck since we're a little lacking on fixing and we're 2 colors so far. But if you're in a monocolor deck like mono red or mono white, I know it says add green. Just replace that with colorless. It's broken, right? So that's kind of the thought process there. So if we didn't have these red cards and we were mono white, then yeah, Gaia's Cradle I think would be really strong. But I mean, obviously we're going to take Mox Ruby. Okay, now what do we get? No fixing, which is definitely a little worrisome. We could take Big Elspeth, and I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, we're going to make a lot of tokens with the Voice of Victory and then Little Elspeth, and I guess that's it. Well, Ragavan could make treasures technically, and then that makes double treasure, which is pretty good. Bonecrusher Giant is a pretty solid play. Eagles of the North. I think I would take Eagles of the North if I knew for a fact I would get either a Sacred Foundry or a Plateau next pick. But given that that's not the case necessarily, I feel like I should just take Bonecrusher Giant here and hope to wheel one of these cards. I like Bloodbraid Challenger a lot as well, and we do have the Lush Portico, but I think I'd rather just stick to 2 colors if possible. So we'll just go ahead and take Bonecrusher Giant. All right, well, here's a reason to be Boros, is Flage. I really like Flage. This pack is very good. Flage, Corey Steelcutter, Goblin Rabblemaster, Lion Sash, and Mana Tithe. Like, I think this might be one of those situations where I would hit a button, take the whole pack, end this pack, move on to pack 3. I think that would be pretty solid. So it could be a better idea to take like a Corey Steel Cutter or a Manatithe for now. Corey Steel Cutter goes hard too with the Chrome Mox and the Mox Ruby. Just these 0 mana plays. You could like turn 2 Corey and play a 0, and then you get to make your guy. I do like Flage quite a bit though, and this will probably signal to other people, hopefully, that the Boros color pair is not open. I don't know how true that is. Maybe I'm overestimating this a little bit. All right, what do we get here? We get another pretty good pack, except it doesn't have fixing. So we have Glorybringer, Goblin Bombardment, Portable Hole, Static Prison, and Fire Blast. So we're definitely not Fire Blasting. We're not red enough for that. Goblin Bombardment is pretty good with the tokens that we're making with the Ocelot Pride, Voice of Victory, but I guess it's only really truly broken if you also have a Ajani, because then you get to flip a Ajani and do all the fun Boros energy stuff. I think it's probably, I mean, if there's a red-white duel here where we're like slamming the heck out of it, I think I'm just going to take Glorybringer. Totally solid card. We can accelerate into it with the Chrome Mox and the Mox Ruby. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Okay. Still no red-white land. Starting to get a little worried. So now we have the choice between Hero of Bladehold, good card, but also Phyrexian Revoker. Phyrexian Revoker, of course, more generic, and you know, you can shut off their Planeswalker, their Black Lotus, or whatever value engine that with an activated ability they have on the battlefield, and that's pretty good. If our fixing were better, I might be more inclined to take the hero here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and snap up this Phyrexian Revoker. Not the most exciting, but we'll just go for that. Okay, still no fixing, but there's a Jite. The Jite is pretty cool, and we have a lot of cheap creatures that can wear the Jite, and then we get to basically control the opponent's board. So I do like that. I also like Rampaging Raptor, would be a solid 4-drop. Pyrokinesis, I mean, we're starting to get a few more red cards, so you just get to deal 4 divided as you choose, totally fine. Cathar Commando is a solid 2-drop that's also Artifact Enchantment Hate, but Jite is a pretty good card, and also it's easy to cast. That's going to be important. All right, once again, we have good spells, no fixing, which is unfortunate. So the question is, do we want Robber the Rich, Enduring Innocence, or Reprieve? I don't think we really want Zerda, so I think we want to lean a little cheaper. There's also like a Mishra's Bauble, but I don't think that's entirely necessary. I do like Enduring Innocence for drawing cards, but we already have like the library to help with that a little bit. I think I'm just going to take Reprieve. Just try to interact with the opponent a little bit. It's not like the best deck for Reprieve because we don't have a lot of instant speed stuff. I think this is totally fine. All right, we're a little lacking in removals, so I think I'm probably going to just go ahead and take Touch the Spirit Realm. There's also, of course, the Tubby Dragon, Goldspan Dragon. Very cool. But we already have one big flying dragon. I don't think we need two. I like Glimmerlands too. It kind of helps with the card draw problem, like, you know, a little bit. But I think Touch the Spirit Realm is fairly versatile. And again, it could also be a 2-mana removal spell for tokens, which I like. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. All right, we wield Loran. So yeah, totally solid. 3-mana, 2/1, blow up an artifact or enchantment. There's plenty of those running around, of course. Okay, we have Talon, which technically is fixing, and it's like a solid-ish utility land. There's also an Eagles of the North. That's interesting. So again, we know we're not getting a Sacred Foundry or a Plateau right now, but I think I'm gonna lean on that because if we do get a Sacred Foundry, this is basically like, then we get two dual lands essentially, like quote unquote. Okay, here we're going to take Quarry Steelcutter. We have our zeros for all the reasons I said earlier, so I'm very glad this wheeled. Okay, we wheeled Portable and Stack Prison. So the colors are open, and the Fire Blast. The colors are open. Now, the real question is, can we get fixing? And also, I think given where we're at, we just don't have energy. So I think I'm going to take Portable Hole, even though it hits less stuff. All right, we'll take Godless Shrine. Like, these lands have been very unfortunate, but at least the Eagles of the North can grab them. But we really need like a red-white one. Second to last pick with our commando. Last pick Zerta. Okay. I mean, again, we need a Sacred Foundry. There's no Sacred Foundry. I think I have to take this Prismatic Vista. I think our fixing is that bad. It's just very unfortunate. Like, I want to take the Solitude. I think Solitude would be excellent in this deck. And then technically speaking, we have like two green sources for Minsk and Boo. And obviously Minsk and Boo is just completely broken, but I mean, we just need it. I mean, we've gone 2 packs. We haven't seen a red-white dual land at all. And we've gotten to this point, and I just feel like that's fairly necessary. I mean, what are the odds we abandon red? I mean, that's also a consideration. Like, I could just take Solitude, and then maybe eventually we get enough stuff that we could just like play Portable Hole. Yeah, maybe Solitude is just that good. I do like Quarry Steelcutter. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take Solitude. I think that might lead to some better... Oh, good. We get Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so I'm feeling a lot better about the decision already. Like, yeah, there's a Savai Triome, but, I mean, you're not going to pass up on a Swords to Plowshares. This also removes the need... you don't really need Firebolt now in this case because we already have decent-ish removal with Swords to Plowshares, Solitude, Touch the Spirit Realm. So red is not we don't need red to provide the more niche-ish removal spells. Like, obviously Firebolt's like a fine card. 1 mana, deal 2 to anything, flash it back, is solid. But I mean, it's nothing compared to Swords to Plowshares. So yeah, anyway, we're just gonna take that. Okay, I'll take an Othari here, I think. Othari's pretty light requirements as far as red is concerned, and then the payoff is just so explosive. There's Unexpectedly Absent as well, but I think we're doing okay enough on the removal. Yeah, let's take Othari. Oh, Ajani. Ajani's so strong. We missed out on Goblin Bombardment, but I mean, yeah, I think if we just start to cut some of these red cards, I mean, our mana's gonna... I might just have to accept the fact that our mana is going to be pretty atrocious. But when you get past that, the spells are very good. So we'll see. I mean, we're also fairly close to just being mono white too, which I think might be a better way to go. Okay, I think I have to take Rogren Triome here. Or I could also take Skyclave Apparition and then just go for that kind of the strategy of just being mono white and then maybe playing like a red card or two. Skyclave is also fairly good with Flicker Wisp. Like, yeah, they get a thing back, but you can exile 2 of their premium spells. With this Rogren Triome, though, and 1 Eagles of the North, that's basically 3 red sources without even trying. Alright, I think we can wheel the Skyclave Apparition. I'm going to take the Rogren Triome here. Okay, Sunbillow Verge. I think it's like fairly easily Sunbillow Verge here. Giver of Runes is totally serviceable. But I know I said all that stuff about being being mono white, but I mean, Ragavan, Corey Steelcutter, Flage, Othari. These are really good reasons to splash red. So I'm gonna, and we're good on playables too. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Verge here. All right. So I mean, it's probably just Figure of Destiny. Not not the most amazing one drop in the world, but it's totally fine. Other than that, Fresh Identity is a powerful spell, but we don't. I mean, we have like what, one blue land. That's not really a thing. Oh, never mind. We have two. Okay, hold on. Rethinking. But just given the type of deck that we are, I think I'd rather play like a cheap threat than a more expensive removal spell. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Figure of Destiny. Sunbaked Canyon, another dual land, perfect. There's also Lutri, which would be fine as like a free, quote unquote, like bad eighth card in your hand. But Sunbaked Canyon, really obvious pickup. Okay, City of Traders can help us cast like Solitude and Othari a little sooner, but again, putting another colorless land in the deck just does not seem like a winning proposition. I think I'll take Magda, but probably not play it. Oh wow, Adeline is so good, but then Arena of Glory. I mean, I don't need Arena of Glory to make Flage good, and then it's also just like a red land that won't even. Actually, it'll barely come into play. Yeah, I've talked myself out of it. We're gonna take Adeline here for sure. Adeline, a very good card. Okay, there's Witherbloom. Okay, we got the choice between Overlord of the Mistmoors and Unexpectedly Absent. Huh. I just noticed this Overlord of the Mistmoors has a little like around the ears. It's got a couple little wispy antlers. That's kind of cool looking. I think we're doing okay on. No, I'm gonna take Unexpectedly. Oh, what did I take? Oh, I took Overlord. That's fine. I mean, it was pretty close. I think I wanted to take the Unexpectedly Absent there because it's a good way to deal with anything. Like 4 mana for 2/2/1s with flying is good, but not. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not stressing out about it, right? So yeah, these always take a little while, I think, to get to the drafting. Oh, never mind. Okay, anyway, so here we are. All right, we got 10 minutes. We'll be fine. All right, let's see how we're doing on lands. I think we want to play 16 lands plus Chrome Mox and Mox Ruby. And Eagles of the North. That is a lot of mana sources, but I think our deck... Could we get away with 15 lands? 15, 16, 17, 18 mana sources if we play 15 lands? And then we would only have to make one cut? That's bold. Is bold. But we could get away with it. We could cut... Let's see. We could cut Overlord of the Mistmoors. We could cut Phyrexian Revoker, but I think having Phyrexian Revoker game 1 is not bad. I think that's pretty solid. So let's see. We could play technically we could play a 3-drop on turn 1, which is pretty solid. I like Bone Crusher Giant a fair bit, so I don't want to cut that. Let's see. What are we not cutting? We're not cutting. Oh, never mind. I think we're just cutting Ephemerate. We don't really have... Well, okay, we have the combo with Solitude, and it's not really a combo with Overlord because if you cast it for Impending, it's not a creature, so you can't Ephemerate. You can Ephemerate Flickerwisp, you can Ephemerate Flage, you can Ephemerate Ajani, you could Ephemerate Loran. So Ephemerate's not bad. The main combo is, of course, with Solitude. That's a broken interaction. Maybe we're supposed to leave that in and take out Overlord of the Mistmoors. I keep coming back to that. I'm not entirely convinced that Ephemerate is really what I want to be doing here. I mean, obviously, I would much rather have like another premium threat, but again, like I was saying before, I think our fixing is not good enough that I don't need to play Firebolt. I mean, I could play like Walking Ballista, but that I can like sideboard that in against maybe a Mana Dork deck, or if I'm somehow in some kind of weird mirror match, or maybe a red focus deck that's playing a lot of X ones, then it's just like a 2 mana kill spell. So it's possible. Glorybringer could also be a consideration. I think okay, I think I've decided it's between Ephemerate and Overlord. So yeah, you know what? I think I think we have enough going on that the Ephemerate could be okay. Like I said, it was with Solitude, Ajani, Loran, so 3 targets. Flicker Wisp is okay. Um, okay-ish with Scrapwork Mutt. It's not that great. It's really not that great. It's only cool to scam into Solitude, honestly. And then technically you can use it on anything to save from removal. But no, you know what? I think that's the deciding factor for me. Like, I'm not excited to play it on any of these other creatures. Like, there's only like a few cool targets like Flash, Flickerwisp, Loran, Solitude, and Ajani, which it sounds like a lot, but when you're putting this card in your deck, especially in Vintage Cube, you really need each of your cards to be really impactful. And I'm sure there's a way you could have drafted this where you just end up with like so many targets that it can work. I'm sure Ephemerate can work. I just don't think it's in this deck. And if it's not in this deck, like what's it working in, right? Okay. Oh, I can also play Portable Hole instead of Overlord of the Mistmoors. That actually might be okay. How are we doing on removal? Because we didn't take the what's it called? I can't remember the X white card, which I wanted to take over Overlord, but I kind of misclicked. So I guess for removal we have Source of Plowshares, Flage, Jite, Stomp, and Loran, Touch of Spirit Realm. We're doing okay on removal. Okay, I think we're gonna keep it like this. We can like sideboard in Firebolt and Portable Hole and other cards like Walking Ballista if we think the opponent's gonna be like a cheap, like if they play like turn 1 Llanowar Elves, then okay, yeah, probably side out Overlord of the Mistmoors, bring in that Portable Hole, for example. But yeah, this seems fine. And again, 15, 16, 17, 18 lands, quote unquote, I think is fine. Mana's going to be a little rough, that's for sure. So let's see, how's this? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-ish. It's actually not bad. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish, 9. The mana's actually not that bad. I think it's reasonable. All right, I think this is going to be the deck. I'll see you guys for round 1. All right, here we are for round 1 against Arcanus O, and we've won the die roll, so we will, of course, go first. All right, opponent has revealed Lurrus, so hand's a little sus, but we're going to keep because we have Library. I would love to go turn 1 Monkey, of course, but that's just that's just what happens sometimes. Okay, so we know they're Lurrus, right, as a companion. So that tells us a lot about the contents of their deck. Besides, it's the obvious thing that they don't have 3-cost or higher stuff. But, for example, if we want to play Phyrexian Revoker next turn, that's a whole slew of cards we're just not going to name. Okay, well now the opponent is looking at my hand. So opponent knows what's up. Opponent knows all these cards. And I'm surprised whenever a Gitaxian Probe resolves, it doesn't put my cards in the revealed zone. I would like for that to happen so I can keep track of what what the opponent knows and what they don't know. But that's fine. Ooh. Oh my. Wow, that was probably the best draw I could have asked for, because this is disgusting. We get to draw a card. Then we get to go plains, ruby, dash monkey. Oh my goodness. That was insane. And then we get a treasure. And then next turn, monkey returns to hand. Next turn, we still get to draw with the library and do it all again. Obscene. That's obscene. That's so gross. And now opponent needs like a shock or a lightning bolt in order to deal with it again. Dang. That was an insane draw. Absolutely crazy. Because to draw a card. Okay, figure. Figure of Destiny's fine. Alright, let's just do it again, you know. We will keep dashing monkeys until morale improves. Okay. I mean, opponents in Grixis probably have a way to kill monkey. Probably. Most likely. Okay, yeah, fatal push. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, that would have been pretty disgusting if that would have worked. Alright, we'll just play tap land and say go to the opponent. Next turn, I don't want to run out of one drop here. I'd rather just draw another card with the library. Ooh, Urza's Saga. Oh, they changed it. Now there's a 1 on there. It's kind of cool. Alright, anyway. It'd be a shame if something happened to their Urza's Saga. Alright, let's draw a card. This is why library is just so incredibly broken. Okay, we'll play plains. Let's attempt to land a Loran. Hopefully no counter spell. Also weird that my opponent's a Lyris deck and they haven't played anything yet. Stern Scolding. Oh, gross. Don't like that. Okay, that's fine. Let's just play Figure of Destiny. Alright, well that was pretty unfortunate. So now Urza Saga's gonna get some value, but I mean, they're gonna spend their turn making a construct, so I can attack freely with the figure, which is nice. The problem is they're gonna make another construct and then, you know, do something else. Alright, so let's just go ahead and go to combat and then attack. So I think we're going to attack. I assume they're not going to make a construct and block. That wouldn't make too much sense here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I think I actually will pump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're just going to let this happen. And then I'm going to try to double spell here. Okay, so let's start with a Phyrexian Revoker. And I know it's in the blind, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to name something. I'm going to try to name an Urza Saga target. So it's probably like another Mox. So I can name like Mox Jet. Or I could name Retrofitter Foundry. Those are the pieces that I'm probably the most scared of. The opponent's thinking here. I mean, I don't see why they would counter this if they have something. I mean, it seems like the opponent has a lot of interaction. We've seen Fatal Push, Stern Scolding, not much else. Urza Saga. So maybe their plan is just to beat down with Urza Saga. Alright, opponent had some computer problems. Alright, so they're going and making their Urza Saga. What they don't realize is that I cannot name Urza Saga with Phyrexian Revoker. So I could just like try to call a shot with a random Mox. I thought I saw a Retrofitter Foundry going around the table, so I think I'm just going to name that. Maybe just assume that they have that. Okay, then we'll go Plains, and then it seems unlikely they'll be... Look, if they have Spell Pierce... I could play around Spell Pierce and just... I could just get the Overlord down. That actually might be better. Yeah, you know what? I think because the card Spell Pierce exists, we're gonna We're going to play Overlord of the Mistmores. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. All right. I think that's fairly solid. Okay, so they're going to tap out. And, I mean, I'm not that worried about a couple of constructs. It's fine. I mean, they're both going to be 3/3s, maximum 4/4s. So, yeah, I'm not too worried here. I think we'll be okay. Depends what they get. it'd be really funny if they got Retrofit or Foundry. Got them, you know? Well, we'll see. Ooh, Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Yeah, that's definitely a good play. So, luckily we have Touch the Spirit Realm to help deal with things. Okay, no equip is interesting. All right, there's going to come in for 3. I'm totally fine taking that. So then, let's see. It can make my stuff lose hexproof and indestructible. Sure. Okay. Very interesting they did not equip, so I'm not sure what that means. Ooh, Cathar Commando is a good draw. All right, I think we're just going to go ahead and try to get Flage value and then react accordingly to whatever they do here. Okay, so we're going to blow up this construct. Okay, solid. And then I think we just swing out. All right. Not bad. I'm still a little worried about Spell Pierce, so I'm not going to jam Elspeth, and I'd much rather hold up this Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay, cycle miscalculation. That's what they had. Okay. Well, that's definitely good to know. So, yeah, definitely glad I did not jam anything into that. If they spend their turn equipping Shadow Spear to the construct, I may just use the channel ability of Touch to exile it, or not exile, but you know, to blink it, whatever, get rid of the token. Yeah, it's either that or like flash in a Cathar Commando. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7. I mean, we have lethal next turn. Yeah, let's just go ahead and. I mean, okay, we're gonna go Cathar Commando because the Touch the Spirit Realm can pretty much deal with anything, whereas the Cathar Commando can only deal with artifacts or enchantments. Like, it can't deal with other creatures. So I think we're gonna go for the Cathar Commando plan here. Okay. And then we're going to blow up the construct. Cool. All right. Pretty good. So right now, opponent is facing lethal without any other interaction. So let's just attempt to go for the win. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So let's start by pumping this. 2, 4, 6. This is lethal by itself. Notably, if they have a bolt. Oh, what is this? Oh, very cool. So they're going to go Fire Covenant, but what they don't realize is that I can just do this. I could just activate it again, make it become a 2/2. Then, because it's a spirit, I have enough mana to make it a 4/4, and then they still die. So pretty nice that I had a lot of mana up that I could still activate the figure multiple times. Okay, that was pretty convincing. So I saw a lot of so there's still a Luris deck, but I saw mainly a lot of interaction. So I'm not even sure if I want to bring in the Portable Hole necessarily. Actually, no, Portable Hole's fine. Portable Hole can deal with the construct tokens. It can deal with the Shadow Spear. It can actually deal with quite a bit. So I think we'll bring that in. There's quite a lot of counter magic. So I think I might. I mean, Overlord was good there. but I have to be wary of, like, yeah, the more expensive my spells are, the harder the blowout is from something like miscalculation. Like if I play a Voice of Victory and it gets miscalced, it kind of sucks, but it was a 1-for-1 trade, mana neutral, like neutral tempo or whatever. If I impend an Overlord or cast an Elspeth or whatever, and then they miscalc that's pretty devastating. They spent 2 mana, did 1-for-1 with my 4 mana spell, and I didn't get any value off of it. So yeah, just something to keep in mind there. Also, we got extremely lucky in the early game right there, how we drew the perfect Mox Ruby in order to dash out Rag. That was just like completely obscene. All right, this hand is not as broken as before, but I mean, it's totally serviceable. We can go, I mean, I assume we're going to go turn 1. Okay, they get to see my hand again. We'll see. It depends what happens. Maybe I don't run out the figure because I know they have a ton of interaction. They also know about swords, so ideally I want to save swords for Luris. Okay, Caustic Bronco and Shadow Spear. They spent quite a lot of resources getting that down. Ooh, Bone Crusher Giant. Do I let them hit me once with this, and then I just Bone Crusher Giant it away? No, they spent a lot of mana and resources on this. I can use Bone Crusher Giant on the Luris. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go ahead and swords the Caustic Bronco away. I mean, they spent a lot. They spent quite a lot to get that out there. So maybe they just wanted to try to get some card advantage back. Oh, Dark Confidant. All right. Well, I could just kill it, but then again, we're running into that same problem that we had before. This is definitely a little awkward because I don't want Luris to get them too much value. Okay, I think I am going to kill the Dark Confidant because they really do need ways to gain the card advantage. They got the board presence, but we can cover that with our GT and Figure of Destiny combo. So we'll see. Like, if they don't play a land here, for example, they're completely screwed. Okay, they played a land. But now we can just deploy our cards. Ooh, Flage. All right, let's play around. Let's play around Miscalc. Okay, now let's play GT. Okay, so we got the GT to resolve, which is good. So last time they got Shadow Spear with Urza Saga. So, okay, let's see what they get this time. All right, do they have something they can fetch up? Probably. I would assume so. Oh, it is Retrofitter Foundry. All right, I made a good call last time. Definitely a little bit of a problem. Okay, so yeah, these 4/4s are gonna do some work here, and then the Retrofitter Foundry is just gonna continuously. Yeah, this might be a little bit too much value for me to get out of. Oh my goodness, Loran of the Third Path. That was incredible. Incredible draw. All right. So I think I need to blow up the Retrofitter Foundry. This represents so much board presence for them. And we're going to play out the land for sure. Like, it's tempting to just blow up this construct token. But I think if we use Loran, blow up the Retrofitter Foundry. First of all, it takes a couple of points of power off of the constructs. Second of all, I mean, the Shadow Spear is going to kind of suck, but we can deal with these constructs with Flage and GT. So, for example, if we draw a land next turn, we get to flage one of these things, equip Jite to the one of our creatures, smack them, and then yeah, I think that leads to the most helpful outcome here. The other problem is that they got a lot of card advantage, obviously, with this brainstorm, and then get to fetch away their bad cards. The other thing is that this Luris is eventually going to come down, and I've run out of ways to effectively deal with that. All right, now this is interesting. I feel like opponent is just going to want to attack with both things. Probably. Interesting. No attacks from the opponent. I'm not sure what I think about that. Oh, ooh, Mox Ruby. Okay, wait. So now we can do the thing that we wanted to do. And I feel like opponent has miscalc in hand, so this actually lets us play around the miscalculations. So we can do this, go flage, playing around miscalc, and then we can blow up one of the constructs. I think opponent's thinking about miscalcing this, and of course I'm going to happily pay. And yeah, that'd be pretty good. And then I can just like attack with Loran too, just for free. Oh, they are gonna. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's if it's Mana Leak or something. Obviously, that would be pretty bad for me. Oh, memory lapse. Memory lapse. Okay, that's okay. That is fine. All right, so that goes on top of the deck. So we know we're getting that. We are gonna equip the Jite to the. I guess the no. I guess the Loran. We can. So if we attack, they block. We kill it, and then we kill. We don't get to kill the other one. Let's just equip this to Figure Destiny, and then pass. I think that's gonna be the move here. And I'm not particularly interested in drawing my opponent cards. Interesting, they did not fetch, because they went Brainstorm last turn. So you would think that they would want to fetch away filter away some of the bad cards that they drew, or put back on top. Weird. People be out here doing things. So if they equip, oh, they are going to be disappointed with this Inquisition. All right, so they see Othari. They see their demise. But I'm going to try not to jam that. All right, let's see what else they got. Jace. That's going to die. That's for sure going to die. We cannot let that thing resolve. Or we cannot let this thing flip, rather. Okay. I mean, all right. Yeah, I don't think I'm that interested in drawing cards with Loran. I think we're just going to go ahead and go to our turn because they have a lot of interaction. They have like Fatal Push and stuff. I would not want them to draw that. So we are just going to go Flage. We're going to blow up. Oh, I really wish this was attached to Loran now. It's kind of unfortunate. Or actually, no, we can still do that. Yeah, I think we just kill one of the constructs here. Okay, gain some life. I could attack and pump, and then they probably block. Actually, I can attack with both. Yeah, you know what? This is good. So we'll attack with both. And now they're pretty much screwed. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel very good for the opponent. Especially because Jace cannot kill anything right now, being a 0-2. I'm trying to think what the best block is for the opponent given the situation. It just doesn't seem good. Oh my goodness, no blocks? Yeah, that does not seem great. All right, so we'll do that. We'll just go ahead and kill Jace immediately. And then we will equip the GT over to Loran in case they feel like attacking. So, yeah, this feels pretty good here. And yeah, I don't think they can come back from the GT. All right, that was a pretty convincing first round. See you for the next. All right, we're playing against Rob Musician, and we've won the die rolls, so of course we'll go first. Hey, this hand looks pretty good. It's got turn 1 library again. All right, I mean, it seems like a pretty clear play pattern. We go library, and then we draw, and then on the next turn we hold up library, but then we reprieve something. It's all fairly straightforward, I think. And then, of course, this is single elimination, so hopefully we get to continue playing into the finals. That would be super cool. All right, let's go turn 1 library. Pretty strong. All right, we're going to see a Thoughtseize here. Ooh, Duress. Yeah, that's pretty good against what my strategy was going to be. So there, yep, they reprieve. It was the only legal target. So now we are not going to get to do our library stuff. Okay, we did draw a land, though. So I could play the mountain, hold up Bone Crusher Giant. But I think given where I'm at, I would rather just get down the Scrapwork Mutt and then discard an Overlord of the Mistmoors and draw. And then if opponent plays specifically Unearth, or not Unearth, I forgot what it's called, Exhume, then I can bring it back. Okay, opponent played Fanatic of Ronas. I am not a fan of that. They know about the Bone Crusher Giant. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack. It's a free attack. I don't think they block. They don't know I have the mountain. Yeah, I didn't think they would do that. All right. Well, given that, I think we're just going to cast the Bone Crusher Giant outright. It's not very exciting. I feel like opponent's going to play a big scary 4-drop. I think they're going to play Minsc and Boo. Yeah, it's Minsc and Boo. All right. That's pretty bad. I'm not sure we're going to get out of this one. Technically, they can't really attack, though, which is nice. So if I can draw an answer right now to the Boo. Oh, is that an answer to Boo and therefore answer to Minsc and Boo? Incredible stuff. I really, really obviously wish that we could hardcast Solitude, but we can't. So we're going to have to bite the bullet here and just do these things. All right, so we're going to Solitude away Boo token, and then we're going to attack down Minsc and Boo. All right, so goodbye, Minsc and Boo. All right, well, the problem, though, is opponent still has 4 cards in hand, so I imagine they're going to play something scary. I think this is the... Oh, that's also pretty bad. Well, it's just a 5/3 currently, so no combos yet, no fetch lands, no lands in the graveyard, so I think we're doing okay. That's an Eagles of the North. I mean, eventually we can just play that. I think I just hold back here. Next turn I can play Eagles of the North and actually have a pretty good attack with the Scrapwork Mutt and Bone Crusher Giant. The problem is now, of course, now they have 4 mana from the Fanatic of Ronas, and they just get to find whatever they want. Ooh, that's a Pyrogoyf. So Pyrogoyf is very good here. Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that they would play Pyrogoyf. Oh my gosh, Pyrogoyf is a 7/8. All right, goodbye, Bone Crusher Giant. And Sedgemoor Witch. All right, so they seem to be Jund. I assume they have a combo with the Chain of Smog to make infinite things. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. We don't really have a way to deal with this. All right. Corey Steel Cutter. Is this count as casting? Return it. No. All right. Oh, well, we couldn't do that anyway. We don't have the double red. All right, let's get rid of Eagles of the North. All right, I think that's just enough for a concession. I don't think we ever come back from this. All right, so opponent's deck is very powerful. I think we are going to bring in the Portable Hole in order to deal with the Fanatic of Ronas. And it could also deal with a Boo token in a pinch if we need to push through. Mind Collapse. We don't have that many mountains. In fact, we only have 4 mountains. But just a 4-mana deal 5 to a creature or planeswalker, I think could be useful here. I mean, this is definitely going to be a little rough. We don't... maybe we don't need the Mind Collapse. I think we'll just bring in the Portable Hole. Again, probably just for Overlord of the Mistmoors. It doesn't seem like that's going to be impactful enough to combat what the opponent's doing. All right, we're just going to need a Broken Start. That's a Broken Start. I think that's pretty good. Hopefully no Duress to get rid of GT, but even if they do, I mean, we have a turn 1 Monkey. Turn 1 Monkey, pretty good. I mean, we just need to have this Ragavan take over the game. That's the idea. And if we Bonecrusher Giant away, like say a Mana Dork, then... Ooh, Soul Ring turn 1. Oh my goodness. All right. Can we get Loran? Ooh, Corey Steel Cutter. That's not bad. All right, let's attack. See what we hit off the opponent. All right, what do we see? We see Forest. Okay, let's go. Let's just Plains Pass. Hold up the Stomp. Maybe we can stomp something. Although they do get to play a 4-drop. Sylvan Caryatid. Sure. It's fine. Not great. Definitely not what we wanted to see. Okay. There's a Plains. So we could go Cutter into GT. I think that's fine. We're just going to try to be aggressive. Yeah, so let's go Cutter into GT. Trigger. I will equip. And then we'll hit with both. Alternatively, I could have equipped the Corey to the Ragavan. But I think trying to go a little bit wider here is what we want to be doing. Next turn, we can stomp something and cast Scrapwork Mutt, get another Monk token, which I think would be pretty good. So we have some options. Unfortunately, the opponent has 6 mana, so this could end up just not mattering because they play something that's way too strong. Natural Order into Woodfall Primus. Oh my goodness. There goes the GT. Okay. This is not unbeatable, but it gets really hard. Of course. Duress. Alright. Duress, thankfully, is a whiff. So we may be able to come back here if we can just go wide enough. Ajani was a really, really fantastic draw. So I think... Do I want to save the Scrapwork Mutt? Probably. To discard something bad. Bonecrusher Giant, I think, has outlived... Stomp has outlived its usefulness as a removal spell. So I'm okay, I think, just firing it off. And then there's no way for me to... Yeah, I think our goal here now is to just go wide and play a bunch of doodads and then eventually overwhelm the opponent. Not sure how likely that's going to be, but we can definitely try. All right, we will just make more bodies, and then, yeah, they can never really kill this cat. So one thing that's always nice about Ajani is that it basically reads other cats you control have unblockable, because they're not going to want to block. Because if they flip Ajani and I start just pooping out cat tokens and dealing like 4 or 5 damage to the opponent. That's definitely not what they want to do. Okay, they just unearthed their Sylvan Caryatid. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Chainsaw. Okay, probably a Johnny, if I had to guess. Yep, that's acceptable. Hopefully we can just keep going wide enough. We'll see. Okay, this Woodfall Primus is probably just never... It's just being a big old defender, I think. I don't think they can... Oh. That's weird. Huh. I'm just going to take that. Very strange. Alright, time to murder people. Oh. Oh, that's good. That's very good. I do want to get another prowess trigger, though. I'm not sure what my opponent was thinking there. If I take away all their mana, they only have 5 mana to work with, which is not... Well, only 4 mana to work with, which is not too much. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I think... Well, I think opponent thinks they can race. Not convinced that's the case here. Alright, let's go to combat. Swing out. I assume that they're going to block Ragavan. It's like their only choice. Sure. Alright. We'll go Loran. And then we'll destroy Soul Ring. So that will take them off of a decent amount of mana. The Woodfall Primus is a 3-turn clock, and I think we're pressuring a lot more than that. If we draw a land too, we can double spell and just keep up the pressure with lots of monk tokens, which I think is pretty good. They're just going to get in there. It's really weird. They must have something. I don't know why they would keep attacking me like this, unless they had like something else that can gain them life, or... I guess we'll find out. Barrow-goyf, that's pretty good. That's very strong. All right, now we're in a little bit of trouble here. Eagles of the North. It's not bad, but it's like not good. Technically, it can get my things big. No, that can't be good. I think I need to draw a card. I don't like to draw them cards either, but we might be forced. Yeah, let's draw a card, see what we hit. Mountain. Okay, mountain's cool. So let's start with the Scrapwork Mutt. We can discard the Eagles of the North. I just don't think that's going to be something we're interested in. Chrome Mox. Okay, that could help with the Quarry Steelcutter. Let's play Mountain. Let's play Bone Crusher Giant. Make Monk. Yes. So now Bone Crusher Giant can block the Barrow-goyf, which is nice. And let's see, if I play the Chrome Mox and swing out, that would be... They effectively at 12. They block perhaps here. They take 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. Very close to death here. But unfortunately, it's not going to get the job done. So we kind of just have to hold back, which is not great. Yeah, big ol' lifelinker was exactly the kind of thing that I was worried about with this situation. Okay, I just play a tap land. It's not that big of a deal. So now the real question is, are they gonna attack with the Woodfall Primus again, or do they need to hold back? Or are they just gonna play like Minsc and Boo? Okay, there's Sedgemoor Witch. That's something. Their board state's pretty impressive. Gosh, they're really doing this. I feel like I need to take this in order to... I don't think I'm winning if I block. You know what I mean? I mean, we have to win the game next turn. That's not winning. So let's think here. Is there a way we can guarantee victory? I think it would make more sense to we definitely want to draw. I want to attack with the Loran, but it's not guaranteed that we're going to draw an instant. And I think my board is wide enough. If I could somehow deal with the Barogoyf, we might be able to just get there. Really unfortunate, of course, that we drew land. All right, let's draw. See what we hit. Is it anything that gets us out? Oh my god, it's Othari. That is so good. Wow. That was probably among the best cards we could have asked for. That was insane. They have 1 mana up, so I don't know. If you have an answer for this, you have an answer for this. All right, let's get all our prowess triggers. Yeah, do that. That's fine. No, I will not be exiling. All right, let's play around whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, it could just be all out on the board. Okay, we'll make a token. Oh, we actually don't have the mana to re-equip, so we might as well just... Yeah, we have no choice. We pretty much just have to swing out here. I haven't done the math. It's probably enough. I really hope. I actually don't know, but we're really not winning if they get another turn, so I think we just have to do this. Oh, and we also make the 2/2. All right, it's, you know, math is truly for blockers. So we will let the opponent figure this out. So if they, from this point, if they block a 2/2, they take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 30. Yeah. They're actually, they're dead. I believe they go to -1 here. They take 13, they gain 3. And my board is spread out too wide for them to interact. If they have a removal spell, then, well, if they had a removal spell, they probably would have done it already. Wow, very close. Insane. Crazy draw step with the Othari. Really glad we had the Loran there to help. All right, so now we go on to the next game. Game 3. All right. So, I mean, their deck is really strong. So, Barogoyf is a bit annoying, and the portable hole does not deal with it. I think I might need to play the Mind Collapse. They just have such big cards. Touch the Spirit Realm is a way to deal with that. Flicker Wisp is a way to deal with that. So we do have answers. They just don't line up super well with the threats. I could see cutting maybe Phyrexian Revoker, but you can name like Sylvan Caryatid, so it's not... Now that's still pretty good. Elspeth Knight Errant can help get over the top. We have Solitude. I could see the Mind Collapse coming in. I'm just not entirely convinced. Figure of Destiny's a little bit not great. Yeah, you know what? Let's take out that. We'll take out that, put in the Mind Collapse. Just another answer to big threats. And then we'll go from there. All right. And our hand is a little reactive, but has high potential. So I think we can keep it. And if they play like a turn 2 mana dork, as long as it's not the Sylvan Caryatid, if they try to high roll with the Fanatic of Ronas, we can punish them with the portable hole. So I think I'm okay with this. Also, the opponent's mulligan is 6, so that helps us a little bit. Their hand is very strong, or their deck is very strong, though. Okay, they're going to go tap land. We're going to go tap land. Unless we drew Ragavan, of course, but, like, we didn't, so. Or an Ocelot Pride or something. All right, Fanatic of Ronas. Hopefully. Oh, even better. Yeah, portable hole your Raphelos. We get to follow it up with Adeline next turn. Oh my goodness. Excellent. All right, portable hole Raphaelos. This is a huge tempo blowout for the opponent. All right, excellent. Very nice. Okay, I might cycle the Eagles this turn. Maybe not. Maybe I don't have to. Ooh, this is a sick Malevolent Rumble here. They have a lot of good stuff. They chose Ignoble Hierarch. So that tells me they are a little short on lands, which, yeah, that's good for me. All right. So I could kill the spawn. I feel like I'd rather get Adeline out. I guess we could... No, we got the Touch of Spirit Realm. We can exile... We can't exile Minsk and Boo with it, though. I think I'll hold on to the Eagles for now. Let's draw a card. Jite is really strong. With that being the case, I think we just go Adeline pass. And then we just really hope that opponent does not play anything super broken. Because, I mean, if we get to Jite, and yeah, Jite with the Adeline. Okay, there's Ignoble. Oh man, wait, this is going to be absolutely devastating if the opponent does not have anything else. We just get to Jite the board. Oh, no removal. Oh, they removal. Okay, well, that's fine. No, totally reasonable. Oh, Solitude, perfect. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So we'll go Sunbaked Canyon, and we're just gonna Flage away the Ignoble, keep them off of mana, and then yeah, we're just passing. So far, Flage is the only card in the graveyard, so it's a little bit more difficult to unearth it or whatever. But oh my gosh, they are unearthing their Ignoble Hierarch. They're that desperate. Yeah, this is going to be pretty bad for the opponent here. I'm just going to do this main phase to play around. I don't even know what I'm playing around, but we're playing around it. That's for sure. Exile Ignoble. They gain no life points because it has 0 power. All right, but this just tells me that the hand is full of bangers. So we can't just like take our time here. We do have to, kill the opponent. Let's just get a Jite down, I think, while the opponent's shields are down. Hopefully no removal. They had Chainsaw, which is sorcery speed, so they probably would have done that. Okay, now we're just absolutely golden here. We can even touch the Spirit Realm on our own Solitude, and then if they play like a scary creature. So yeah, I actually think we are totally solid here. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm still going to hold up my mana. No need to do anything. Wow, Flicker Wisps 2? That's crazy. All right, let's play Plains. Actually, let's draw a card. We might as well. Elspeth? Pretty sick. All right, but we don't really have to do that. Let's just attack. And then we'll pump it up. Deal 7 damage. Okay, cool. And then... I probably want to present another threat. Yeah, might as well. Let's just take advantage. It's putting the shields down a little bit, but man, we just get to play Elspeth. We get to generate tokens. I mean, opponent's just completely screwed here if they do not draw a land and then play something impactful. Okay, they found land drop 3, but hopefully my board state is just too insurmountable to come back from. We have a lot of extra life. Let's see what opponent can come up with here. Okay, Barrogoyf's pretty good, but unfortunately that is just not going to be enough. In fact, I think we just have lethal. Because, yeah, we can pump this up to 7 and bring it up to 10. So we actually don't have to do anything. Yeah. Sorry, opponent. That is going to do it. It says flying, pump. And that's the game. All right. We definitely got a little lucky in that game. But I mean, hey, well, we take that. Oh, opponent's showing the hand. Oh no, opponent's hand was, yeah, as expected, their hand was very much complete gasoline. So yeah, definitely good that we had the proper sideboarding with the portable hole to deal with the Raphellos, and then they just got a little bit unlucky. They were going all in on the ignoble hierarch, but we were able to deal with that with the solitude, and then just apply enough pressure so that they couldn't come back. All right, see you for the finals. All right, we're playing against Wolf Token in the finals, and wow, I mean, pretty lucky. We won 3 die rolls in a row, so I'll take it. We'll go first, and our hand looks great, so we'll keep this. We could just kind of, I don't know, what we could try to call our shot with Phyrexian Revoker and name like Black Lotus or something. Cause I don't. No, you know what? I take it back. We're going to discard Chrome Mox because it seems really unlikely that it's going to produce mana this game. So I think I'd rather just get out Scrapwork Mutt, discard Chrome Mox, and then save. Yeah, try to hit another mana source. Okay, there's another mana source. Because we're really trying to play. Oh, yeah, this is great. So, play Plains, hit them for 2. Hopefully no spears. That was Jite? Okay, and Figure of Destiny? Okay. So far, so good. We have 6 permanents on the battlefield on turn 2, and then our opponent only has 1. Oh, 2. Okay, this could be... Oh, okay. Ooh, Voice of Victory. I think I like that. Let's see if this resolves. Counterspell, Remand, sure. All right, let's just increase this power, smack them for 4, and then next turn, well, we'll see. So some kind of blue-black control deck. If we draw a land, that would be excellent because then we could go Voice of Victory, equip Jite, and smack. And I think that would be pretty good. Or we could, you could just go Voice of Victory, Swords to Plowshares, and I think that would be also pretty good. All right, opponent has hit their 3rd land, which, to be fair, is more than we did. Ooh, a land. All right, let's go for Voice of Victory. See if they have a counterspell. Mana Leak, perhaps? Subtlety? Whoa. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'll put it on the top. Sure, I want to draw it. All right, let's put this here. Not on the figure. I think I'd rather they interact with the mutt. Let's see if this gets in for damage. Maybe they have removal. Okay, they got something. Okay, all right. So they get to make a couple of 1/1s, but I don't think that's the worst. So with the Occult Epiphany, they discarded Enduring Curiosity and Malcolm. Sure. Okay, I'm fine with this. And then we will kill the spirit and then pass. All right, and then we still have a counter on this Jite. Man, Jite is such a messed up card. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, opponent has 4 mana, though. What did they exile? Narset. Okay, so they're definitely some kind of blue-based control deck. I imagine they have draw 7s to combo with Narset. Hopefully our beatdown plan just works well enough. At least we have something that we can name. All right, what does this do? Did they... Ooh, they're going to get rid of my Swords to Plowshares. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Okay, we have Phyrexian Revoker, Demonic Tutor. Okay, probably some kind of card draw spell. It's not great. All right, let's go for Voice of Victory. And then we'll go... I think we name Chase the Mind Sculptor. I don't know. I'm just thinking about like what kind of card they could have that gets them back into the game. The other option was probably the One Ring, the One Ring would be incredibly strong here. We'll see. They just conceded the game? What is going on? They tutored for any card in their deck, and they couldn't beat a Voice of Victory, a Phyrexian Revoker, and a Jite with 5 mana. What? Okay. Anyway, so they're definitely playing some control stuff. I mean, theoretically, you could play like a Mightstone and Weakstone for more card draw. I just think that our current deck is actually fine enough into this matchup. So we're just going to run it back. All right. Oh, our hand looks really strong, so we'll keep. It will, especially against a control deck, if we can slip this Ragavan under them. Oh my gosh, into a Johnny too. Whew. All right, we're drawing hot, that's for sure. Hopefully this is good enough, because hopefully they deal with stuff more on the stack. What? What? They just cast a Cult Epiphany for X is 0. What? Why did they do? Alright, anyway, so unfortunately this Psychic Frog is going to stop Ragavan in its tracks. But it's okay, we'll just go with Johnny. That's fine. And then no attacks here. That's wild. Why would they play a Cult Epiphany? Opponent, what are you doing? Did they misclick? Did they think things were going to happen? This is the finals. This person beat 2 other people. Oh boy, we got some Reanimator. Okay, that's a Crabomination. Oh boy. They get... Oh, they took my Adeline? That sucks. Alright, there goes Adeline. Alright, well, this became a lot harder. Okay, I can... Oh, this is not an artifact? Oh, it emerges from the artifact. That's so strange. Alright. Well... Okay, so Lauren cannot actually blow anything up. I guess we just go for Jite and Ocelot Pride. Yeah, we can attack with the cat. They're not going to block. Well, they are going to block. Okay, that's concerning. Yeah, I'll flip a Johnny. Okay. Well, we'll kill Adeline. I mean... I guess they get to kill a Johnny back, but the fact that they don't have my Adeline now, I think that's pretty good. And now they have to spend a considerable amount of resources just to kill a Johnny, because I'm like always chump blocking this thing, right? So, whoa. Okay, Vaultborn Tyrant in the... Okay, well, all right, Vaultborn Tyrant at least I don't have to worry about. Okay, a Johnny down. Johnny down, that's fine. They do get to draw, though, because this thing draws when it hits a Planeswalker, which is so broken. True Name Nemesis. Oh, boy. That's problematic. So, we don't have a way to gain life. This thing can just chump block forever. Alright. Well, we got our work cut out for us. So, we will do this, and we will put the counter here on the Pride. And then, unfortunately, we just have to pass. So, they can't really make the frog fly, but then again, we also really can't interact much. Yeah, this is definitely a tricky spot. I really thought the Crabomination was an artifact. Okay, what did they do? Oh, they harvested? Alright, that's unfortunate. Oh, I just realized I could have Lorand away the Animate Dead. Whoops. That's okay. We taking 11, potentially 12. Yeah, I think that's okay. Maybe I chump block. Yeah, you know what? No. I should prevent them from drawing a card, because I want to hit them with Ragavan. That's kind of the most important thing here. Okay, land is good, actually. So I think we're not playing around Days if we do this, but what we are doing is enabling some, some counter shenanigans with the GT. All right, we get to hit the opponent, put 2 charge counters, and we get... Ooh, okay, that's good to know that we don't have to worry about subtlety. All right, now we will play out Loran. Hopefully this is good enough. Okay, no days, good. Okay, destroy, animate, dead. Okay, solid, solid, solid. All right, looking pretty good. Figures not going to do much here. Yeah, I just give it flying. That makes sense. So I'm basically dead in 2 turns, which is a problem. Okay, they hold back with Frog. Or hold back with True Name. I could see why you would want to do that, sure. Okay, this Frog is very annoying, but we do have answers to it in the deck. Like that. Like, there's an answer. Solitude. So, I could let us both draw. I think it probably makes a bit more sense to just impend this Overlord. And then hopefully we just naturally draw into the land. Okay, cool. Now we have a couple of 2/1 flyers. So we're technically on a 3-turn clock with the True Name Nemesis, but we have life gain with the GT to come back. So I'm not... Okay, they're gonna kill an insect. That's completely fine. Alright, if we find the land next turn, we can hopefully deal with the Psychic Frog. Demonic Tutor. Yeah, I mean, sure. Get anything you want. I don't think this is death necessarily. So what can they do here? The best thing they can do is kill the insect, fly the frog, profit. Then they would be 5, 8. I go to 1, but then of course I can GT. So yeah. So it seems like they're not a combo deck, or obviously, because when you cast a Demonic Tutor and you tank this long, that usually just means that you're playing it for value in your like otherwise fair blue-black, control deck, which is definitely not its best home. I mean, it's fine. I mean, they're going to get a removal spell probably for something here, and then we're going to take a lot of damage. So I get it. Okay, what are they doing? So, target creature gets... Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so now they're going to fly frog, and... Sorry about that. There was a little bit of a problem there, but anyway, we won. We were getting hit with that Psychic Frog, but thankfully we were able to deal with it with the Solitude, and then we had the active GT, so they could never really get in with the True Name Nemesis, and I think they just didn't really draw too well. The last turn here, we tried to Flicker Wisp our Overlord, and then the opponent flashed in a Necromancy to buy back our Cathar Commando to blow it up, which was pretty cool. But it just seemed like the opponent didn't have enough ways to... Like, they could never, ever attack with True Name Nemesis, or I was going to gain 2 life, and then I just crash back for, like, 1 billion. And then I don't think they would ever come back from that. And then, we get Authority down. There's all kinds of stuff that would have happened. We also drew swords, and that would have been a good way to also gain some life in case the True Name Nemesis ever became a problem. So yeah, that was the match, and as you can see, we got some pretty neat prizing right here for the elimination draft. And yeah, I think I'm all vintage cubed out, and I'm ready for some Final Fantasy draft. So I'll be trying to record some content on that as well. So thanks for watching.